Welcome, dear Thriver, to Thriver TV, my channel which empowers you to not just survive narcissistic abuse, but to thrive after it. Today, I want to talk about a dynamite topic, toxic shame, because it affects virtually everybody after disappointing and painful and narcissistic relationships. But before I get started, I just want to remind you, if you haven't already, to like my videos, hit the subscribe button and also the notification button so that you'll be notified each new video that I do. And if you love my content, please share with others so that they too know that it is possible to heal for real from narcissistic relationships. Okay, so let's jump in. Let's talk about toxic shame. What is toxic shame? Just recently, I shared with you the topics of abuse and addiction and breaking old painful patterns. But now I want to get down to the core of where this really all comes from. It's toxic shame. So it's our tendency, toxic shame, to blame ourselves, feel that we're unworthy, defective, bad or wrong, and that we're unacceptable. Toxic shame is an insidious trigger, and it goes off. And when it does, it feels shocking. It feels terrible. It makes us want to curl up and hide and remove ourselves from participating in life. And it can feel so horrible that we literally despise ourselves. And to survive this feeling, we may take on all sorts of behaviors to try and avoid it and to cover it up, but it lingers. It can literally destroy our day, week, month, or even our actual life. And I think we could all agree that toxic shame is one of the worst human emotions that we could ever possibly go through. So why do we have toxic shame triggers? Because our human programming has been designed this way. It's a powerful delusion that's been perpetuated on humankind. That you're small, wrong, carnal, dirty, disgusting, and you're scapegoated for all that is apparently wrong. And gosh, you're even told that you're a blight on the planet, that you're a literal virus. Nothing, however, could be further from the truth, because who you really are is a fractal of source, God, creation, whatever name you want to grant to a higher power that is responsible for everything that we see as life force. You are a part of divine ultimate creation and love, which is wanting to glorify itself through you as you, if you are only to know that you are worthy of such love and ultimate life force and well-being. Not through having to earn it, win it, or pay to get it, but simply because you exist and you are unconditionally loved and accepted by all that is. So this has been the grand lie of separation, that you and Creator are separated. You're not conjoined in oneness, that you are not love or expanded, and you're not made in the likeness and the image of the ultimate higher power. And the fact is, you are, which means not just resembling creation itself, but you also have the identical capacity. And it was said you would do even greater things than I can do. So this is what separated you from Source, and it's made you feel out on your own, forsaken, terrorized, needy, empty, and alone, and therefore highly susceptible to the lie, not only from the collective, making you feel even worse about yourself, but also offering up all sorts of outer fixes to make you feel better, which of course don't work. But also false sources coming into your life who appear to be your savior, yet are your punisher itself. Enter narcissistic people, stage left, and they can come in on a collective level, on a personal level. And these are damaged people, also disconnected from source, and they are in their primitive survival mechanisms in their brain of me versus you. Intense competition and the beta brainwave ego, which makes them believe I am the god of my universe. Meaning being attached to the small logical brain, which is not in unity with supreme consciousness. And people who are operating from a lower frequency of fear, control, lack, and separation from all compassion, which is the compassion and the truth of oneness, seeing others as mere objects to manipulate in order to get their share of the goodies. And that's what narcissistic consciousness is. When we have unresolved toxic shame, meaning we have not as yet ascended to knowing who we really are, then we draw the situations, people, and the self-sabotagers which manufacture more toxic shame for us, which is failure, exposure of our weaknesses and our self-hatred. And it keeps the toxic shame in our powerful programs going. And please know, whenever you intensely feel a trigger of something, if you're not healing it, it means you're just going to sign up for more and more of the same. Because you are a powerful creator. Whatever is going on in your inner emotional universe is exactly what is going to be the results of your outer universe. That's how our life works here. So what are the effects of toxic shame? There are many, and they're very painful. First of all, you're going to be emotionally unavailable to others. You have a fear of getting close. True intimacy is not about getting naked with people. Anybody can do that, potentially with layers of falseness and pretenses whilst doing it. What true nakedness really is intimacy, being visible, vulnerable, and real. With toxic shame, we don't have the ability to do this, draw other authentic people, or share real communion unless we've been able to meet, hold, and heal every part of ourselves, including our shadows, the darkest of which is our toxic shame. Maybe in toxic shame, you've been attached to perfectionism. And if there's any possibility of failure at all, you simply don't risk being seen or expanding into the contributions, the gifts, and the divine unfoldments that you have to share with this world. You don't shine. You can't accept any possible setback or learning curves, and you're not vibrating at a higher level of higher understanding. That when things go wrong, they're happening for you, not to you, calling you forth into greater focus, inner guidance, and hearing the call towards the right direction and therefore success. And so-called mistakes are needed for that. Maybe you hide, or you get so focused into a single task that you have to do it perfectly, that you get bogged down, sidelined, and you forgo every other new expansion in your life because you can't live up to some impossible standard that can never be reached. This is a life wasted. This is the mission of your soul being untapped and unrealized. All of this is to do with unresolved toxic shame. Maybe you take the blame, you forfeit your rights, you over-apologize, you forgive others far too easily, and you don't take a stand for your values because you feel wrong and bad and responsible for everything and everyone. And then you're never noticed, respected, honored, supported, or truly loved by others. When my wonderful MTE team and myself discussed this topic this morning for this Thriver TV, it was a consensus that many narcissistic abuse recovery members, they start out by working their NARP modules to clear inner trauma about the narcissist, but as they go deeper into the healing of their core, where this really goes is the necessity to face, hold, let go, and go free from their inner toxic shame. Just as it was my and my team's personal healing journey. And once toxic shame is released, there's incredible healing and resurrection of self, and the ultimate true returning to love and source, which is the coming home to ourselves, our own wholeness, peace, love, which comes with that connection to our higher power, because it is the super conscious truth of ourselves. It's actually who we are. The issue of toxic shame is not a psychological disorder. It's a spiritual one. You can't learn your way out of toxic shame. That would take lifetimes. It requires quantum healing, which is effective, energetic, inner self-healing. It shifts within your core being. If this resonates, what I've shared with you today, this very important topic that affects us all, then the NARP program for your recovery from not just narcissists but also with toxic shame is shared with this video. Also, I have 2 upcoming live events, and the first is my Manifesting 5D Love Relationships event, which shifts you into a source frequency of real love. And there's been an enormous global surge towards this event from our members worldwide, understandably, because real love is what we all want. And also too, I'm sharing with you my freedom from trauma and toxic people for our workshop, which has only just been released. So you can check out the details of those events by clicking on the links provided. And please remember to share this video widely because it relates to us all. Our world needs to understand the truth of and be able to heal from toxic shame. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and until the next one, keep smiling, keep healing, and keep thriving, because there truly is nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.